Welcome to the Damn It Rad podcast. Barrett is not here because it is Veterans Day week, and I'm the veteran on here. As a former Army infantryman, I am sitting here. I give you the Marine Corps,
Hoorah.
Sebastian Prosciutto, infantryman. How you doing, bud?
Oh, I'm great. Most of you might remember me from the hot sauce challenge that we did with the Reaper.
That was awful.
That was terrible. That was in, what month was that? July? The end of July?
Yeah, something like that.
So, yeah, as you said, I was in the Marine Corps infantry for 4 years. Saw a lot of things, did a lot of things. You know, hearts and minds of the people, because that's basically what it is nowadays.
So like, as a former Marine,
Yeah, we all know. There's no such thing as a former Marine.
I gotta throw it out there. Whenever you start at boot, how is it different from like other branches whenever you ship off to boot? Is it just like, was it balls to the wall the whole time like we were, or was it like the Air Force where they're like, hey buddy, are you sad?
No, man. It was, okay, so I left from North Louisiana, and it was pretty much flight after flight to get to South Carolina. We had so many delays, or layovers, and the entire time you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to sleep through these flights. Your nerves are shot. There was no sleeping whatsoever. So by the time you get to Paris Island, which is where I went, because I'm not a Hollywood Marine, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's whenever, and this was like after a day of flying. So
how do they differentiate between like Hollywood Marines and Paris Island guys? So they just go, you there, or is it like, oh dude, you're fucking pretty, you're going to California?
The way that I believe that it works is that if you're west of the Mississippi, we're supposed to go to Hollywood or California, and if you were east of the Mississippi.
So if like you're in Port Allen.
No, because like Louisiana is one of them special things where we just kind of go wherever, and they just so happen to send me east because I guess that's where all of the people were going that time.
Just easiest.
Now, if you're a female, you're only going to Paris Island because they don't have females in California.
Even today?
I don't know. Whenever I went, they didn't have female recruits in California.
Okay.
But that's just recruits. So.
Okay, so you go through boot, you get yelled at, get smoked, you're in decent shape. You get to your unit.
Yeah.
How was that?
My first unit was 1st Marines, 6th Division. 2nd Marine Division, 1st Marines. What is it? 1-6. It's 1-6. 1st Marines, 6th.
Shout out 1-6.
Yeah. Y'all know what it is. It's been a while since I've been in. It was... You would think that once you leave boot camp and your MOS school that you're done with all of the nervousness, like, oh, you're no longer the lowest man on the totem pole, and that's not. That's definitely not true.
You're even lower.
You're even lower somehow, some way.
Oh, so your schools were broken up from boot to infantry school?
Yes. So
see, ours was all in one infantry school.
Mm-hmm.
It was just suck for 18 weeks.
Ours is broken up from boot camp, which is like 3 months of just bullshit. Like, oh, here's some basic field maneuvers. Here's how you shoot your rifle. Here's how close order drill. And a lot of it really for us was focused on like your PT scores and your close order drill.
PT scores, for those of you that aren't military, stands for physical training. You have to do a test, I think, every month in the Army for infantry. How often did y'all do yours?
We had to do ours once every year because we had 2 different tests.
Well, I think you only have to do by record.
Oh yeah,
twice a year.
Twice a.
But we had to do a PT test every single month. So that's physical training. You wake up, you do your PT, and then they test you on it. Ours was push-ups, sit-ups, and a 2-mile run. I think y'all's is pull-ups.
Pull-ups, crunches, and a 3-mile run.
Crunches.
We didn't have to go all the way up. So we have to cross our arms like this, and as long as the arm touches the thighs, it counts.
Oh, dude, I would love that.
It was
so much better than sit-ups.
So easy.
Because, like, I have the long torso, so whenever I have to go all the way up, fuck.
It's terrible, but I did like the crunches because.
Oh yeah.
And you do them so fast that people just lose count. So.
Yeah. No, I'm done.
Yeah. I got 100. I'm maxed out.
Yeah. The runs.
If you had a good battle buddy, that is, you would have gotten 100 no matter what.
Well, see, for us, NCOs have to grade everyone.
So they just have us in like a long line. Like they take the whole company, split the company down the middle, and then like half of the company holds the feet and the other half does their crunches.
Oh, okay, so Marines really aren't in that great a shape. They just have good buds.
Yeah. Pretty much.
You learned it here. You learned it here on the Damn It Radcast. So, you get to your unit, you suck.
Oh yeah, you are the suckiest person that there is. It doesn't matter what you do, it's always wrong. You are always the first person that they go to go freaking clean the bathrooms, or the worst thing that you can think of. We're usually the ones that have to go and do it. And that's not even just cleaning, that's like in the field type shit.
I think that's just an infantry thing though. We're combat janitors.
Oh yeah. And man, it's even worse whenever you're in the field, because then you have to do all this bullshit. On top of that, you're the new guy, so you're going to be the one that has the worst firewatch. Y'all had firewatch, right?
We had
the field.
Oh, in the field? Yeah.
Yeah, the worst firewatch is usually like the second to last one, because then you're losing 2 hours of sleep instead of just.
Because you lay down and you're like, there's no point in me going to sleep.
Right.
It's that one or like the second one. The second one sucks too, because you feel like you just lay down and then you got to be up.
Depending, yeah, pretty much.
Because I was the type though that like they said lights out, like you boys going to sleep. No, I don't give a shit where we're at, what we're doing. I'm going to sleep.
I can do that right now.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the best things that the military has ever taught me is falling asleep anywhere, anyhow, no matter what.
All right, so going just timeline linear. Graduated, show up to your unit. Oh shit, it's time.
Oh shit, it's time. Whew. So my first deployment, we were a part of the 22nd MU, and for those of you that don't know what a MU is, it's the Marine Expeditionary Unit, which is basically, they put a bunch of Marines, pretty much a whole battalion worth of Marines, on boats, and they send us out. And we sit on the boats, or the ships, until something happens. Or until 9 months, whichever comes first. So we were on this boat 9 months. I mean, it's not consecutive. There were times that we were able to get off. It's for like a day. The most I think we were off was a month, but we were in Iraq that month.
So was that on your own boats, or was that on Daddy's boats?
Marines don't have ships.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yes, you did. We are a part of the Navy.
It was on Daddy's boat. And so whenever you got off the boat, like if something were to happen, you're in Iraq and you get hit, who takes care of y'all?
The Navy corpsmen.
Oh, that's right. I didn't know. I was Army. I wasn't a Marine, so I don't know all these things.
We also did not have a dedicated MOS to medical personnel, so we had to borrow some from the Navy. The corpsmen. Shout out to the corpsmen, though. Them people are harder than anybody that I know, because not only do they have to do our job, they have to do their job along with carrying all of their medical equipment.
You didn't help Doc?
Oh, I always help Doc.
I was say, you carry his shit if you need to.
We all had CLS bags at least,
Yeah.
but I mean, think about it in the terms of Doc's got more stuff to carry than any of us, because if we are loaded down with all of our ammunition, if we get tasked out to carry all the weapons stuff, which is bullshit, but we've had to carry mortars. It's kind of hard to carry my stuff, mortar stuff, and Doc's stuff.
You got to carry the mortarman shit?
If we get attached to them.
See, our chucks, we just kind of gave it to the gunnery squad.
That's how it's supposed to be. I think we got screwed over.
Yeah. Alright, so you get in country. It's your first tour. I don't know your rank, so I'm just going to call you, Private Sebas. Wide-eyed, bushy tail.
Scared as all hell. Wearing Iraq, and the first thing we are told when we get there is that the unit that we were leaving took sniper fire from a hotel across from where we were stationed, and this hotel towered where we were, so it overlooked our entire position. The worst freaking thing was that my post was set up to where my back was to the hotel.
They really planned this out.
Yeah.
The engineers were on their shit right there.
Oh my gosh, it was the worst. It was the scariest feeling because you always were watching over your shoulder, but you also had to make sure that you were watching the road because I was on a gate guard.
What was I going to ask? Did y'all have, like, were y'all in a salute zone or no? Because, like, I know the airfields and shit are salute zones. I found out whenever I was in Afghanistan.
Airfields?
Like Kandahar Airfield, salute zone.
Mm-hmm. Anything in country was a no salute zone. Even when we were in Kuwait.
But that was Afghanistan, dude. Like
that's insane,
right?
I mean, if I was an officer, I would tell people not to salute me. If I was
sniper check, sir.
Absolutely.
Especially that hotel right there. That's where my mind first went to, dude.
No, I didn't even see an officer the entire time we were in Iraq. They were always in the fob or.
Do y'all have officers in the Marines?
Yes, we have officers in the Marines. They are Marine officers.
Y'all people that graduated college?
I know, it's
dude, insane. You heard it here first on the Damn It Rad podcast. Marines can go to college and get an arts degree.
And get an arts degree. That's mostly what they have.
Mm-hmm.
Or underwater basket weaving.
Crayons are delicious.
So, I had my back to this hotel, right? And we're running on the worst sleep schedule that you could possibly think of. It's not like you work 8 hours, you sleep 8 hours, you're on call for 8 hours. No. It's you work for 4, you're on call for 4, you sleep for 4, then you're rotating all the way back over. It doesn't make any sense because by the time that you get from where you're staged to be on call, because you don't go to your room whenever you're on call, you're all staged in one area. Once you get from that place, which we had to walk across the freaking base to get to where we were sleeping, it was already like 30 minutes down, so you have 3.5 hours. You have to shower. And that's the only time that you get to do, whatever that you want to do, talk to your family if you have internet connection, play games on your Game Boy or whatever. Nap, go to the gym. I don't know how anybody managed to go to the gym while we were in Iraq, but they had people that were able to. No idea. But it was the worst sleep schedule ever because I just remember constantly feeling exhausted no matter how many monsters I drank, no matter how much sleep I got.
You had monsters?
We did have a PX.
See, we had rippets.
We did have rippets.
And rippets, you drink a pony, you're up for 24 hours whether you fucking like it or not down there. I don't know what they do to them down there.
They are different down range than they are over here.
I've tried one over here and it's just juice.
Yes, it's juice. Like, I could drink a rippet right now and probably go to sleep.
Oh, yeah. But, like, I drink a rippet downrange, a pony boy?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'll be up. So, Rippet, if you're listening, we'll give you a shout-out. Just come sponsor me, baby. Official drink of war.
Speaking of rippets, so, recently, I've never really gotten out of the military, but if you want to count the National Guard as the military.
I don't.
So, we were in New Orleans for the COVID stuff, and we actually had Rippet drop off cases of rippets to us at the testing site. So it was the coolest thing that anybody's ever done for us. Yeah. So thank you, Rippet, if you're watching this. That was beyond awesome.
That was pretty dope. So, alright, so you do your time in Iraq. We're not going to get into details.
Mm-hmm.
This is Veterans Week. Like, you're kind of in charge here. I'm just hosting, asking you questions. So you get back from Iraq. People treat you different after you deploy.
Oh,
especially
absolutely.
in a combat MOS.
Absolutely. So, once we got back, my squad leaders, my team leaders, everybody treated us, all the new people, with a little bit more respect.
Mm-hmm.
And it was never like, hey, come here, fuck face or anything. They actually talked to us like we were people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you would think that after being, I guess, degraded for that long of a time, Like, you would hate this place. And there, with the military, it's a love-hate relationship.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you hate it every single day, day in and day out.
You wake up and you bitch the entire time. But once you get out,
it's like, why did I ever do that?
you feel dumb.
You feel lost.
Oh, yeah. You don't have that brotherhood.
That brotherhood, the sense of purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone through so many jobs after getting out.
Oh, me too. It's that thing where, like, I got out and I've been infantry. And so, we wake up, we do the job well, but we bitch the entire time. And if I have a freak out, I just freak out right there. You can't do that in the civilian world. It doesn't matter how good of a job you're doing. If you're bitching about it, they don't want to keep you.
No, not at all.
Which is, nobody really tells you that. Because, like, you're on this mindset of just get the job done. Do the best of the job. It doesn't matter what you're saying while you're doing it.
As long as you get the
As
job.
long as it's done. And then you get out and they're like, hey, you're a warehouse guy now. I need you to go all the way over here. What the fuck, man? Why do I gotta go all the way over there?
They don't like that too much.
I'm gonna do it, but like,
yeah, they don't like
I'm
that
gonna
at all.
be shitty about it.
One of the things that I think I had the hardest time whenever I got out was I learned to not take bullshit from anybody.
Yeah.
So, like, even whenever I had higher command, especially after my second deployment, I didn't give a fuck after that. After my second deployment, I was just like, nobody's going to tell me anything that I don't want to do, and I'm going to tell them.
And you went to Africa, right?
I did. I was in Cameroon for... it was half of the deployment, so it was either 3 or 4.5 months. No showers, no toilets. It was terrible, hot, sweaty.
The only thing I had with like anything out of Africa was the Georgian army.
Never met them.
Dude, we were in not CNS. We were Kyrgyzstan. That's the in processing and out processing thing for Afghanistan. Not in CAP, but like you go there for a week, then you go to Afghanistan.
Right.
The Georgian army was there, and it was probably like a company or two. And we had the porta-cans. These motherfuckers.
Oh, God.
You got the toilet seat. Right here.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how. Shit. Across it.
That's disgusting. You know what it is? Instead of sitting on the toilet like we do, I'm pretty sure they squat over their toilets.
Well, I saw it. I slammed the door. I turned around. I saw him. And immediately lost my shit. I'm trying to
Obviously,
fight.
so did he.
I'm trying to fight all of Georgia. The state, the country. I don't give a fuck. We're going to war now. Fuck this.
That is one of the worst things that you can do is make the only place that you can shit in peace. The only time you get peace, honestly, is whenever you get in a porta shitter. This is the only time you get peace.
The writing is incredible in there.
Oh,
some of the best literature I ever read was in an Afghanistan porta shitter.
Do y'all have the running joke of Wagner loves dick?
Yes, but you can explain it.
Oh my gosh.
That's a y'all thing, but
it is our thing. It doesn't matter where we were. Anytime that a Marine has set foot on a base, a country, anywhere that has a porta shitter, you will see Wagner loves cock. Doesn't matter. Like, if a Marine has been there, you will see it.
The best thing is we had a whole investigation because there was a girl, and we were at NTC in the Mojave Desert in California, Fort Irwin. Hottest place on earth, I'm pretty sure.
I've been in the area.
Like, it's miserable. And I go to the porta shitter, and I'm done.
It was one of those days where you're out in the hot sun.
Yeah, I'm just over it.
Trudging through sand.
And this got me through my second stint. We had a girl, I won't say her name, but on the porta shitter, I walk in, I sit down, I look up, and it says, blank gave me a blumpkin. And it was one of those moments that you sit down and you go, you know what, man? It's going to be a pretty good day. A warm fupa day.
A warm fupa day.
A warm fupa day.
This day is gonna be pretty alright.
Dude, there was a whole investigation over who figured it out. And I said, oh, so we're investigating who wrote it? We're not investigating if she actually was giving out Blumpkins? Because nobody told me.
And that's one of the things about being infantry, dude, is like, we are probably some of the nastiest people that you will ever meet, but somehow, the nicest.
For those of y'all who don't know what a Blumpkin is.
We don't have to go into that, don't we?
I feel like we do.
Just have the... all right.
Whenever you are evacuating your bowels.
Defecating.
Imagine if someone, whether you're into guys, girls, I don't know what you do, but while you're defecating, someone was to relieve you orally as well, not from your anus, but from your pee-pee. It's a blowjob while you're taking a shit, for those of you that don't know, just to put it crudely.
Can women get a Blumpkin?
Do you want to put your head down there while they're taking?
Well, I never said that I want to do it.
I guess.
I'm just saying, is it possible for them to do it? Or receive?
It's 2022, equal rights, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
Women out there, if y'all want one, go get you a Blumpkin.
You gotta find you a guy that will actually, go down.
Yeah, it ain't me.
It ain't me.
But
not why you shit.
No, but good luck.
I mean, this place is getting weird.
Move off the rails there. My bad.
A little bit.
So Africa.
So Africa was probably worse than Iraq, honestly, because when we were in Iraq, they gave us like an actual building to sleep in. When we were in Africa, it was just bug net under the stars.
Oh, fun.
Oh my god, it was hot, miserable.
Y'all like lions and shit, like trying to find y'all?
Surprisingly, I did not see a lion. I did see a couple baboons and a giraffe.
Oh, that's cool.
It was pretty cool.
Combat giraffe?
It was that day. So it's and you in the infantry, it's nothing but males, at least in my time. And honestly, we're not going to start that discussion, but it was a good thing then to only be males, because we were all sleeping naked under the stars in the bug net because it's hot as shit.
Walking EO complaints.
Oh my gosh, it was. Whew. We did get a female army medic come on the base. It was probably a month in. That's when they started making us wear like shirts and shorts to sleep in. Like, we couldn't take off our shirts, which is weird because we can go swimming without shirts. Weird, right?
Don't go swimming?
Just in general, like it's social. Shut up. It's socially acceptable for men to walk around without shirts, especially if you're at like the beach or at a swimming pool. For some strange reason, in the middle of Africa, while you're sleeping, it is not socially acceptable to not wear a shirt.
Well, I am all for women not wearing shirts.
Yeah.
Because Brad loves titties.
We all love titties. Titties are great.
Alright, so Africa sucked.
Africa was terrible. The only way to shower was pretty much if it rained, which it rained maybe twice while we were there.
Did God bless it?
I hope so.
God bless the rains down in Africa, man.
Either that or Weezer.
That's why there's no vampires or werewolves. Alright, so whenever you get out, or whenever you said you were getting out, they treat you differently at your unit, or?
It's honestly like you don't even exist anymore, once again. So it's like this thing of you kind of exist, but you're really shit. Like, you only exist to make their lives easier. And then you're up there, and I say up there, and there's all this up here, but you're like up here. And then right whenever your contract's about to end and you're like, you know what, I don't really want to do this anymore, it's like you just disappear. They pretty much kicked us out of the barracks like my last week in the Marine Corps because they needed the space for all the new people coming in. So it was kind of like a fend for yourself type situation.
Yeah. I stayed with my buddy Failer on post in his room. It was just two of us.
I met this girl on Tinder and stayed with her.
Smart.
I know.
That's the infantry way.
I'm still alive and surprisingly no diseases.
Bravo.
It is very rare for infantrymen not to have at least one disease.
I never had any.
Me neither. Okay, so we are the anomaly. We're the exception, not the rule.
So you get out, you join the guard, that's where I met you.
Yeah, and that was probably one of the times that we were both bitching and we looked at each other. It was like, man, this guy bitches a lot.
Soup?
We were friends before that.
I know, every time we talk about that, that's what I think of, bro.
Oh my gosh, so we're going to tell that story here in a little bit. But, so I'm sitting in this car like, man, this dude bitches as much as I do. And then I hear him talk about Afghanistan. I was like, what was your MOS in the Army? He's like, infantry. Is like, my boy.
My dude.
Ever since then, we've been pretty close. But we were at this annual training event, and we've been on this freaking firing line for fucking days. Like, this was day 3, I think, of being on that fire line.
We got kicked off day 1 from an ND, and that's whenever the sergeant major and colonel had to escort me back because I was ready to fight everyone.
So,
like throwing my helmet, fucking motherfucking everything, bro.
An ND, for those of you that don't know. Okay, so before we get into that, me and him are infantry prior service. When we got into the National Guard, we did not join the infantry.
No.
These guys,
They're there.
they're there.
They try.
No, they don't.
Sometimes.
Mm.
They are breathing.
There we go. They're breathing. So,
I hope we're out before this airs.
oh, we definitely.
No, we won't.
No, we won't.
No. Don't cut that.
So, an ND is a negligent discharge, which somebody shoots before they're supposed to.
We will not say names or anything like that.
No, we're not going to say names.
We're not going to drop our baggie of dimes.
That will be whenever I do get out.
Hey.
Hey. So, it's like 110 degrees that day.
It was miserable.
It was so bad, and we were just sitting there sweating. Nobody knows what the hell's going on because apparently we're shooting on this weapon system that you're supposed to have a 50 cal and a Mark 19.
But we didn't know how to put the 50 cal or Mark 19 on there, and nobody took a class on it, and nobody read the TMs on it. Like
nothing. So we're just sitting there being miserable as hell, hot as hell, out there all day. It's dinner time, and we should have already been back for some reason, but instead they send us dinner. And what do they send us on a hot summer day?
fucking soup. And that was Radley's breaking point.
Oh man, what's it? I've never seen Radley lose his shit like that day.
They gave us a plate and a goddamn fork and 100 degrees with fucking soup. Soup!
On a plate.
Soup! Fucking soup. I went off for a good 45-minute rant.
No, you went off on a good 2-day rant.
I was so mad, and nobody stopped me.
Why would we?
Well, I was half expecting somebody higher up there that because we had officers coming in and out looking at the thing. They would just come in and out and hear me just yelling, "Fucking soup!" just
this
losing my fucking mind. Apparently I have a breaking point, and that was it.
The soup was it.
I can stand for a lot of things. Do not serve me soup in hot weather with a goddamn fork
On a plate.
on a plate. And they had creamed corn with the soup.
Yeah, so it all just ran into this
corn soup.
Just ran into this
I don't want your goddamn
population of
chicken and corn soup. God, that was awful.
We had to make a fucking taco out of the plates just to drink the soup.
Dude.
Because that was the only food. Because they didn't give us breakfast.
No.
For lunch, they gave us MREs, and we've eaten our share of MREs overseas. We don't eat MREs anymore.
I just didn't eat that day. Or no, I ate Skittles.
Yeah, we ate whatever snacks we could out of the MREs.
Yeah, I rat fucked the MREs till I got tropical Skittle, the purple one.
Yeah.
Those are the best, and that's what I had to eat that day.
I'm pretty sure half of the bags of Skittles too turned it was so hot that the Skittles inside.
Oh, it was a Skittle.
It was a Skittle bar.
It was a single Skittle.
It was terrible.
Fucking soup.
God damn, soup.
God damn. And then people were making bets over my team, hey, on the way there, I didn't know this, but they were making bets. I'm like, how long is it going to be for Radley to lose it?
It wouldn't have been your team because your team was dumb. It had to have been the other team leaders.
No. It was other team leaders making this bet. And we made it to the first stop.
Oh, I remember this because I was watching from my Humvee. I was probably the last one of the last vehicles in line, and he was one of the first.
I was third.
He was third. And I'm sitting like pretty much right next to his Humvee because we had like this loop thing going on. Looking out my window, and I just see Radley throw his helmet across the field. And I look over a little bit more to my left, and lo and behold, there's his Humvee in a fucking ditch.
I told them, bring the Humvee from the fuel point and bring it over to the back of the line where it goes.
Behind two other Humvees. They only had to get behind. They had to get behind another Humvee.
Because I had a leadership meeting. So I'm like, just put it there. No big deal. Anyone could do it.
You would think.
I was wrong. They went to the opposite side, facing the wrong way, in a goddamn ditch.
I don't know how they managed to do that, but they were basically trying to get back in line to get fuel.
And I just start twitching, and I feel my blood pressure just start rising.
Oh my gosh. It was funny, but for him, it was terrible.
It was sad. Looking back, it's hilarious.
Oh, it's always funny whenever you look back on things. Like,
so
there was this one time, we were in, it was some desert, I can't remember. They all are the fucking same. It's rock and sand.
Awful.
We have been out in the field. It was California, actually. It was Mojave Viper. We were doing some kind of bullshit. We had been out there for like 3 or 4 days. We weren't supposed to be out there that long. So, obviously, we all ran out of cigarettes. And then those of you that know infantrymen, we run on caffeine and nicotine.
I did Grizzly Wintergreen Long Cut because that's the easiest dip you can find in the field.
I was smoking Marlboro Reds.
Cowboy Killers.
Cowboy Killers.
Dude, in Afghanistan I was smoking L&M Reds.
Ooh.
Unfiltered.
Oh.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, soon.
So, we had this one guy that still had like half a pack of cigarettes when we got to our extraction zone, which we had to stay the night.
Of course.
Because, we can't get birds in the air because it's too late, blah, 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 whatever.
I'll fucking walk.
Not after that. We had already been walking.
Vegas is which way?
So, we had this one guy, and again, we're not in the business of name dropping, but in order for this guy to get a cigarette, he had to get it out of another dude's ass crack.
That sounds right. That's fair.
Right? He's like, all right, look, this is my last half a pack of cigarettes. If you want it, you're going to have to work for it. So he put the cigarette in between his ass cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
And as the guy was going down to get the cigarette...
Shit on him.
Nope. Somebody took his head and pushed it into the other guy.
Did they ruin the cigarette?
Oh, yeah, it ruined the cigarette.
Oh, dude.
He got a cigarette, though.
But that's a waste.
No. Because we smoked it without the filter.
Oh, yeah. Done.
If the filter breaks off the cigarette, you can still smoke it.
Speaking of California, we were there and we were leaving. We were in, them big ass fucking bullshit tents whenever you're out processing or whatever. And no name drops, but me and another team lead were sitting there, and we had a soldier that was back active duty. We had a soldier leave early because he was having his first baby. Good job, bud. Really proud of you.
I'm glad they let y'all do that, even if you were in state.
He calls us, and the dude used to be a medic. He reclassed to infantry. He calls him and goes, "Hey, sir." Like, "What's up, bud?" "My baby was born." We're like, "Oh man," he puts him on speaker. We're all cheering for him. "Man, congratulations! We're really proud of you." "There's one problem." "What's that, bud?" Like, I'm thinking like something's wrong with his wife or like something serious.
Something happened with the baby.
"My baby ain't got no teeth." Without missing a beat, this dude goes, "Well, fuck, you gotta get that baby to a dentist now." And we just lose our shit. Now, he was a great soldier. I am terrified for anybody that promotes him. Because if you tell him, "Hey, dude, this right here, I want you to guard this. This is guarded. But that, people can come in and take that. He doesn't give a shit. But this right here, safe. Safe as a motherfucker.
Safe.
Everything else, fucking fair game. Go ahead and take it." But, so getting out, you're out. I keep getting sidetracked, my bad.
No, it's just what we do.
So you're out. You're having tough time transitioning.
Like I said in the beginning, like getting out is probably the hardest thing that you can do in the military because you lose everything. It feels like you lose your identity, your friends, your family, because you work with these guys day in and day out, all day, 24/7, Monday through Monday. You live with these guys, you breathe with these guys, you eat with these guys, and then all of a sudden you're no longer with anybody with that amount of dedication or that amount of like time together. And like you bled with these people. It's a different connection than anybody's ever going to get. So once you lose all that, you feel like you've lost everything.
Very, very isolating.
Very, very much so. And I know we've been trying to keep this kind of upbeat for the most part throughout this segment, but this is kind of where it gets dark. And this is honestly where we lose a lot of brothers and sisters. Because they get out and they don't think they have anybody to turn to. Life gets hard because it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
You have so much more responsibilities whenever you get out. Well, different responsibilities whenever you get out.
I am a big believer in leading by example. So if you don't mind me taking for a couple seconds.
Go ahead.
We lose too many soldiers and Marines and airmen and Navy, seamen, whatever they're called, a day to suicide. I believe last was like 2014, I believe that stat was. It's gone up. I will tell y'all right now, I have had an attempt. I was sitting at the VA with my 40 in my hand because I was looking up the regs to see if my then girlfriend, now wife, would be able to collect on my life insurance. It's not something I'm proud of, and I should have reached out. If you don't have anyone to reach out, hit the podcast up. I can get you in contact with me, a veteran, someone. It's not worth it. It's really not. And it's one of those issues that's really near and dear to both of our hearts because we both had our fair share of mental health issues.
Absolutely. Honestly, if it wasn't for this guy right here, I probably would have been dead.
I mean, I'm in therapy once a week. I take my meds every day, and I still have bad days. And bad days, I normally call Sebastian, or I'll call my buddy Taylor. Who hopefully you have to have your support system, because I'm gonna be straight up. The VA doesn't care. You're a number.
Yeah, not at all. I was in process through the VA. Like I said, if it wasn't for him, I'd be dead because he's the one that brought me to the hospital, and they put me in the VA. And the entire time that I was there, the only thing that they cared about was, it seemed anyway, was, where's your mask? Like, we are one step above prisoners. That's how we were treated. There was no privacy. If you had to shit in an open bathroom. Open, no doors. You couldn't shower alone. No doors. No bars of soap. You had to use like liquid in a cup. But God forbid you walked out of your room without a mask, and they would lose their shit.
They actually misdiagnosed me as being bipolar and gave me the wrong meds.
That is never a good thing either.
Yeah.
Whenever you get wrong meds.
But seriously, if y'all take anything from this Veterans Day podcast, reach out if you need someone. We're here. We're a brotherhood. We're a sisterhood. We're a fraternity, sorority, however you want to word it. I would rather listen to your story than listen to your obituary. I know it's said over and over again, but I can't stress it enough. This is an issue very near and dear to my heart, and I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure, brother. And I call him brother because he is my fucking brother. We're infantry till we die. This is Rad signing out on a serious note. Joined by Sebastian, the Marine.
It was a pleasure.
If you want to get him anything, it's probably crayons.
So much for ending on a serious note.
See y'all later.